Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Chair Yoga. We're going to start today with some of the basic things that you're accustomed to get the body warmed up. One of the things that I think yoga helps us with, just in a broad stroke, generally speaking, is transition. I always start with some transitional movements, and we have that mindset that we're transitioning. That part of the whole notion of transition is probably quite familiar to you, but also I'm going to try to be more aware of, from pose to pose, from movement to movement, bringing you into more awareness that you are transitioning. Because what we learn from yoga, is about staying with the present moment, staying put, that your mind and body are connected, you're doing one thing here, and that is a great tool for us, because our life includes transition all the time, and I don't need to list all of the ways that shows up for you. I'm sure that you can imagine that for yourself, about how surely in our day to day living experience, transition is really a part of every day that we experience, in some big and some small ways. But the stability of yoga's mind-body connection is a great benefit to us as we approach that part of our life. So I'm going to get started at the chair here, and we'll begin with some more intentional breath work as we begin. Let's use the block between your knees. So have it kind of between your thighs and knees. Make sure your feet line up right underneath your knees, so that your legs are in a right angle, and that your feet are straight. You don't have one in front of the other, but your feet are straight. So let's begin by lifting up the whole chest bone, the whole chest cavity, so you feel like you're in proper body posture. Feels like good posture. That's kind of the way we refer to that all the time. It's just sit up and use good posture. Be aware of how your pelvis, how you feel in your pelvis, that your body weight is balanced right to left, front to back. Your shoulder cavity, the whole structure of your shoulder carriage, should be stacked right above your hips. That's good alignment as well. Let's take palms down. Feel your palms on your thighs, kind of close to your knees, but not exactly on your knees. As you begin with eyes closed now, just for a few breaths in, just your normal breath connection now, just nothing fancy, just finding your way into breath awareness. If there's any part of you that feels tight, you can immediately, notice that, oh, I got some tension in my shoulders, or wherever it might be. Then, you can bring your loving awareness to that right away, soften that up for you. Let's keep eyes closed, and let's move into what's called Adi Shodhana, which is that alternate nostril breathing. So I want you to inhale through your left nostril and exhale through the right. And you can do that with your imagination and your intention, and is commonly done in the practice of yoga, that you literally take your hand, it's usually your right hand, and use your finger and thumb some way to plug the nostril, so that you can really feel that very prominently, very, readily. You can feel the switch from one nostril to the other. So you choose, but let's start by inhaling on the left nostril, exhaling the right. So when you're changing from inhale to exhale, you're switching nostrils. Inhale left, exhale right. Sit up tall, soften the mouth, breathe in that way. Inhale left, exhale right. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you're choosing to do this with your intention, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to just be just fine. Stay with that idea. Inhaling left, exhaling right. You might be kind of having that little conversation with yourself. Next time you're exhaling right, stay on the right side and switch now. Inhale right and switch the exhale to the left. Inhale right. Exhale now is left. You can do that with your hand, your hand using your thumb and your fingers, or not. Inhaling right now. We're on the right side, inhale, left side exhaling for us. Eyes gently closed. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just feel it in your body, feel your breath, noticing that there's this right side, left side, alternate experience, any way you're experiencing it. We're still inhaling right and exhaling left. Next time you're exhaling on your left, stay there. And now let's inhale all together. Just a big inhale through the nose. And exhale this out your mouth with the sound of a sigh. Ah, a big cleansing breath now. Big inhale through your nose, but exhaling it out of your mouth with the sound of a sigh. It's a big release. Ah, last time, breath just like that. Ah. Let's gently open the eyes and turn our hands open now. Palms are open to receive the benefits and blessings of this practice. So we come into a mudra. I'm actually going to suggest that we take our hands up off the lap so your elbows are kind of in towards your waist, and then separate your hands from one another as much as you're able. We often use this as the L-shape arm movement. That is a strengthening for the upper body that we use. Let's turn our palms up here. Elbows in, snuggling in towards your waistline, opening up your palms away from center as much as you're able. And take a moment now, maybe you go back to closing your eyes, maybe not, to say, inquire within, what is my intention for class today? What do I need from yoga? What am I open to receive? It might not have anything to do with what traditional thought about yoga is. That you're thinking what I'm open to receive has to do with my activity later on in the day. I'm open to receive some, forgiveness or some gentle approach. It could be completely what's no one would ever imagine has anything to do with yoga. Simmer that breath down so you really feel the movement of your body as you're breathing. And then we'll just say to ourselves, and so it is, that the intention has been set. And now I'm here and ready and present for my experience. Let's release the arms alongside the frame of the chair now, and we're going to move into the cow and cat movement. So that as you drag your arms away from, back and away, but keep them real close to the chair's frame, and see how you can feel that in your shoulder blades. Practice this a little bit before we move into our vinyasa. I want you to really practice, how you can arch your back body and feel movement in your shoulder blades, and keep a very neutral position with your head and your neck. Squeeze that block so your legs are staying put, very stable in the lower part of your body. And then practice this so you can feel it in your body right now. How does this cow pose feel for you today? And your breath is a real good indicator. So be sure to apply a full breath cycle so you can see how it goes. Now I'm going to add something I've just recently started to do. So if you haven't been here a while, when we come into the cat pose, I want you to grab hold of your kneecaps. Straight arms. I'm going to give a little side view. You don't have to do anything different. But so my arms are going to stay straight. I want to keep the shoulders right above the hips. That's what I'm trying to emphasize. So hold on to your knees, straight arms, and then see if you can pull your belly back. So the roundness of your back is the center part of your back. Maybe you drop your chin towards your chest. That would be great. So again, just see if you can find the movement now of this. Practice it just like you did your cow pose. Practice this. Hold on to your kneecaps and see if you can move the center part of your back. So you're keeping your shoulders stacked above your hips. You haven't changed that. So you get the hang of it. So practice this. See if you can feel how this is in your body. The C-shaped curve of your back. And let's do this now as a vinyasa. Inhale with me as arms slide down past the chair's frame. That's our cow pose. grab your knees as you exhale into the C-shaped curve of the cat. So let's find that as our own vinyasa. The movement is up to you and the breath, the speed of your breath. And this is like a pumping action. So you stay with it. I chatter around because I want you to stay with it. And I give you a little more information maybe to encourage you. This is like pumping. Think of, if you had the old fashioned water pump and you've seen it. If you haven't ever had a chance to do it, we've seen it done. And that it takes several pumps of that before the water actually starts, really engage the flow of water. So know that you're going to need to pump or prime the pump here so that we can get the energy. There's lots of powerful energy stored in the pelvic bowl. Not to mention, just the movement through the spine. We're distributing that energy pool throughout the body, up through the spine, through that central channel, the Sushumna channel. Prime your pump with this vinyasa now. Two more full cycles. That means you're going to do it. Inhale and an exhale. One more time now. And come back to neutral. Let's lift the arms up, palms come together overhead. Look up if that feels good for your neck. Exhale as you bow into your heart in a prayer position. Inhale up. Exhale all the way down, and we're going to do another one like that. It feels like a backstroke. We're going to do a little swimming today. So feel this as a backstroke. Inhale up, exhale down. Just keep with it. Stay with it. Remember to exhale completely. So maybe you slow it way down so you can get your full release of the exhale. Your shoulder blades are going back and down. So it's kind of like this. Let's leave arms alongside the body. It's the same experience of this shoulder roll. What you were just doing is really the same action as the shoulder roll. So I want you to just decide if you're going to just, keep up with the big swing, sweep of the arms, or for you, for today, it's a better choice for you to just keep with the shoulders moving and the arms are not moving. So you decide how you're going to do that as we transition into our practice. Warming up the body, and we start with the joints, don't we? One more, however you're doing it. We're going to change the direction now, rolling forward, but go right away to individual shoulder roll. So the shoulders are taking individual movement, not together. And it's a forward movement, and we're going swimming again. So now we can either sweep that whole arm or just move the shoulders, your choice. But I do want you to try turning your head, whether you're just rolling the shoulders or you're using the sweeping action of your arms. Turn your head to accompany that movement. Let's just give ourselves, some movement in the neck. The neck gets very stiff and tight. So we're going to include movement of the head, movement of the neck with these shoulder rolls, which can be done, like I said, full extension of the arms, like a swimming stroke, or it's just the shoulder movement, if that's what suits you better. But turn your head to do it however you choose. Feet to the floor, you're squeezing the block, turning your head. Find your rhythm of breath now. See if you can find that rhythm of breathing. There we go. Finish it up. Feels like you've done the same number on each arm and each shoulder, and come back to neutral. Inhale up, palms come together, look up. Big inhale, exhale, prayer hands right at the heart. Inhale back up. Exhale into the T shape. So you're going to just extend your arms real strong, real straight. Open up your hands like a starfish so your fingers are spread apart. Thumb should be pointing behind you. Now take a look at each arm. So you're just going to turn. We're back to kind of holding ourselves in a way that is strong and for the whole body. But we're going to really try to use this posture to warm up and find the range of movement in our neck. So be curious about it. It's, you know, what I think sometimes we do without, because we just haven't brought enough awareness to it, I'm sure, just haven't thought about it, is that we just do it. I'm supposed to turn. Okay, turn. I've turned. And then you're not really feeling it. You're not experiencing it because you're doing what you've been told to do. I'm turning, I'm looking right, I'm looking left. Stay with just the experience of it. That you're just, what the reason you're turning is so you can feel your neck. So make sure that that primary goal, feeling your neck, is a part of what's going on here. Good. Let's meet in the middle and just extend that left arm. Continue to just hold the left arm in its extension. Turn your head to look that way. And then slip your right hand behind your back so the back of your hand is pressing into your back body. Get your arm as far behind you as you can. So you can feel how that pulls your shoulder back. Looking, turning your head, keeping your head as neutral as you can. Now follow as you lift that hand up, let your face follow it up. So now you're looking up. You've got your face looking up. Lift up, press the back hand into the back body. Full breath in and out. Feel this now. Where do you feel it? In your armpit, chest, in the side. Just notice the experience in your body. You can't do it wrong. You're not going to choose something. I feel it in my thighs, you know, and you think that's wrong. No, maybe you're squeezing your block and that happens to be the sensation you're most aware of. Good. Now let's get the head back to neutral. So you're just neutral with the head, and we're going to let that hand kind of touch back into the shoulder blades. Keep your arm as close to your head as you can. Lift up through that, you know, that tricep. That's this muscle here. You're here. And then let's get the other hand to grab hold of that elbow so you feel like you've got a little frame around your head. And then pull that over to the side. Little side stretch. Squeeze your block so it keeps your pelvis situated. So it's just the upper body doing a little bend. Deepen the breath. Remember to exhale completely. And when you come out of it, kind of spring those arms loose and then back to a neutral position you are. Extend the other arm into that T, palm up. Other arm is just alongside the frame of the chair. Look at your hand. Turn your head to look at your hand. We switch sides now. Lift it straight on up. And as you do so, bring your left arm behind you. Press the back of your hand into your back body. You've got your arm wrapped far behind you. Lift up, look up, pressing that hand back so you can feel it in your shoulders, pulling that left shoulder back for you. Find your breath, find your feet, find that block. You're just noticing your body wherever you can notice. Breathing all the way in and out. You might be breathing out of your mouth now. It might be a harder, more audible breath. That happens, and that's great. That's the Ujjayi breath that has showed up. Let's bring our head back to neutral. Head comes to neutral. We're going to reach those fingertips back to the shoulder blade. Elbow reaching up, arms as close to the head as you can. And then we're going to frame that head. Grab hold of your elbow, frame it. Don't duck your head. So if you have to do this framing, you feel like you have to tuck your head, adjust your arms so that your head is upright and neutral. And we're going to do the side bend here. Squeeze the block a bit so you feel real stable in your lower body. And it's just a side bend. And you've got your head framed up so your neck feels very safe and protected here. Breathe in, breathe out. When you come out of that, it's kind of a springing loose. You're going to bring your head back to its neutral position and your arms come into a neutral position as well. Let's move into our cow and our cat one more time. Grab hold of those knees, round through the back body. Couple movements here. Kind of use this reset. We're going to reset the body with the movement of the cow and the cat. Excellent. Let's take that block and tuck it underneath our chair now. Get hold of your left leg, get a hold of the underside of your thigh, and let's just start spinning our foot around so we're into the ankle joint. Maybe you can feel some movement in your toes. Sit up tall. There's some leverage you can gain here. So kind of holding into your leg and bringing your arms real close to your side body. That'll help you stay upright. And then we want to move into the knee. So we've changed direction quite a few times with that ankle movement. So now I want you to just start circling your knee. Circle it in the same direction for a bit. And then change the direction. So you're into your knee joint. And then let's come into the hip. So I want you to lift your foot up. So you're getting your shin up, your foot up, you're getting your leg up. And then I want you to hold on in any way you can, holding on to your leg with that bent knee. You have a bent knee and you have your leg up as far as you can do it, and you're moving around. You're just simply moving around. You're going maybe from center to, external rotation, internal rotation, that kind of thing. It could look kind of circular. You could be kind of up for once in a while, you straighten that leg out. We're into the joints. So however your body wants to get into the joints, let's do it. That's it. Find your breath now. Your standing leg, just bring awareness to the standing leg. That's kind of your support. You've got a lot of support and stability over there. So don't forget it. Just keep yourself planted on that side. Awesome. Now let's everybody straighten the leg. It could be straight out in front of you or off to the side. You could hold the chair to help or not. As straight a leg as you can do, holding it wherever you need to hold it. Hug that knee into the chest, pull it in and hug it in. Both feet to the floor, take a little break. Catch up with your breath. Maybe there's some movement you need to find. Let's go to the other leg, scoop that up, and we start with the ankle. Change the direction whenever you need to. Changing it, moving, trying to remember your toes too, not just the ankle, but toes. There's a lot of joints in the feet. And you start to feel the smoothing out of your breath. Then let's start by circling. So now the knee joint, we're into some movement, gentle movement, but movement nonetheless, and it's lateral, which is awesome because we don't get that kind of movement all that often. So lateral movement as we circle around. Change the direction. And then we're moving up to the hip. So this is where we're going to get a hold of, get that leg up there, get a hold of it in some way that we can start moving. Now keep yourself upright. It's real tempting to sort of hover, to kind of round yourself down, but get yourself up, get yourself upright as best you can as you move this leg around through your hip. Any movement will do. Everybody's is going to be doing this different because you're listening to your body. Your body and you will figure this out. You're just moving and finding the movement that really feels beneficial, feels good. Might feel challenging, and that's good. Let's try a straight leg. So see if you can get a straight leg in some fashion. Hold on to your leg in any way you want to. It could be out to the side. It could be straight out in front of you. You could hold your foot. You could hold any other part of your leg to help. Find your breath. Get as tall in your sit as you can. So you're holding your chest up. You're getting yourself upright. Good job. And then bend the knee. Hug that knee into the chest and bring your feet to the floor. Let's try a wider angle. I'm going to turn to the side. You don't need to do anything different. I just want to remind you of what we're doing. It's the work of the perineum. Hands are on the thighs. We've got a wide angle between our knees. Start by just bringing your chest forward and back. You're just going to come forward and back. Long spine. Head is very neutral. Don't lead with your face. Don't lead with your chin. Try to lead with your chest bone as you fold forward and back. Find some place in the middle. Maybe you kind of create a diagonal line of your back body. Pull that chin in towards your throat. Squeeze your elbows in towards your waist. Really plant your hands into your thighs. And now here's the work of the perineum. You're all familiar with it. Inhale, lift yourself up. It feels like the floor of the pelvis has lifted off of the chair. You hold it as long as you can. You exhale, you release. So the movement is very internal. Nobody watching you could see what you're doing likely, but it's very internal as you're lifting up and holding and retaining that lift of the perineum. That's the floor of the pelvis off the chair. You hold it as long as you can. You release and settle. So stay with that. I'm going to create an O shape with my mouth. This is when I use that kind of a breath, the shape of my mouth like that. It's kind of like a vacuum hose. That's what it looks like. But it's very good for toning. The vagal tone is affected in a real positive way. That's the vagus nerve. It has to do with the vagus nerve. And that's a nerve that really governs a good share of the body, and particularly the nervous system. We got to do this several times. We really want to tone the floor of the pelvis. So we're in a diagonal position with our upper body, and you're lifting that connective tissue of the floor of the pelvis. You're lifting and squeezing and holding it up. And that will tone that for you. One more. Hold it, and release. And let's come back to a neutral position, and then just start circling around. Keep your head and neck in alignment, so you're just keeping your circular movement without lassoing your head around. Change the direction whenever you want to, and do change it at least once, circling a big broad circle all the way around. And let's come to center and bring your feet a little closer to the framework of the chair. So they're not too close together, but they're certainly within the framework of the chair. So kind of use that as your guide. Let's get our hands on our shoulders. We're going to do some abdominal strengthening here. So we've transitioned into abdominal work. Start by lifting knee and crossing over the elbow. So that's one part of the movement, lifting the knee, elbow comes to that. We're on the same side, just to get a pattern here, kind of getting your body to understand what's happening. And then we're going to do something similar, only extended leg, extended arm. So then you kick your straight leg out. Let's see if we can combine that. Here we go. I'm kind of making it up as I go. Knee to elbow, straight arm, straight leg. Knee to elbow, elbow to knee, straight arm, straight leg. One more time. Let's take a little breather here. We're in neutral, so if there's any movement you need to do, and then let's pattern the other side. Starts with elbow to knee, we just cross over. We get the hang of that. Straight arm, straight leg is going to follow, so let's get a pattern for that. Straight arm, straight leg. And let's put that all together. Elbow to knee, straight arm, straight leg, and one more time like that. Elbow to knee. You got it. Let's come back to neutral. Start moving your arms around in circles. Change the direction of that. Straight arms all the way up now. Now it's just the straight arm, straight leg. So let's just alternate straight arm, straight leg right out in front. Hearty Ujjayi breath. Both arms up, palms come together, big breath in. Exhale as you bow to your heart. Inhale back up, and exhale a backstroke all the way down. Let's cross one leg over the top of the other and center your knees. So you feel your pelvis is balanced right to left. Cross over, squeeze those thighs. Some of you might decide, oh, I know this one. This is where you can bind your legs together and you sort of wrap the foot around the back of the calf. That's an option for some of you. This is a twisting. We're going to find a stability of our low body. We've wrapped it together. We've bound it up. You're going to turn toward that top leg, turning toward the top leg. Lift up, just lift up, kind of lengthen you out, and then just make your turn, and then rest your arms wherever they want to go. I say get a hold of your body part. Get your hand, maybe that back hand is holding onto the chair or pressing into the back part of your body. Make sure you feel the verticality of your spine. You're not leaning one side or the other. You're keeping your spine very upright and vertical, and you're feeling now the transition of moving into a revolved position with your body and finding your breath here. You start to find, where's ease for me again? Where's that ease? Takes a few breaths. And the effort, where's the effort? Where's the challenge I want to show myself? See, there's an opportunity for both. Big twist. Unwind your head first, and then your shoulders and your arms. And then without using your hands, let's just get our arms away from the whole structure. I've just got my hands away from it. Let's just take that foot down and cross it back over. Take it down and cross it back over. You could decide, if we're going to do this, I'm going to take a big step. I'm going to get that foot to go way over there and come over. Your choice. You're not using your arms. It's all the lower body. Excellent. Let's get both feet together. Any reset your body needs. And we'll crisscross now the other way. So the other leg's on top, stack it. You might bind it. You might decide, I'm going to bind it. I'm going to tuck my foot behind my calf. Inhale with me up. It's just lifting, lengthening here, turning the other way. Go the other way. You're turning toward the top leg. Use your body parts. Get your hand to, remember, just draping your arms. Once the arms come down, you're going to reconfigure them. I've watched too many people think that they've got to hold their arms in kind of a robot position when they come over here. Please try to drop that and just hold on to your leg. Get yourself into the twist. Get that back hand to either hold on to the chair in some way or that you're pressing the back of your hand into your back body, because that is a kind of a slick way to come into a twist. And it's very neutral in terms of the demand of the twist. You're just kind of allowing your body to find its own natural version of that twist. There's a verticality of your spine. You're going to find the ease of your breath pattern. Might be breathing out of your mouth. Your breath is going to be your breath. Let it be. Where's the challenge? Maybe, you're looking for the green light. I could deepen this twist. I'll bet I could. Unwind your head first, and then your shoulders and your arms. And then without using your hands, we're going to get that foot to the floor and cross it back over. So it could be you might put your foot to the floor right next to the other foot, or you might just want a big step. But the arms are not helping. You're using the strength of your core. Beautiful. Let's get both feet now, kind of a little distance between, and let's do some circular movements. Just circle that out. It's nice for the low back, isn't it? Just let's loosen up the low back. So really let your pelvis move a bit. Try to really focus this experience in the low back. Change the direction. Beautiful. Let's get our feet a little closer together. Even get your feet tucked underneath you. Let's bring hands to the waist and boot yourself out of the chair. Let's do that again. Squarely sitting on the chair. Boost yourself back up and down. Last time. Boost yourself back up. Let's lift all the way up. Arms are straight. Our arms are extended right past the ears. Maybe you check to see if your feet are straight. We want them straight. Inhale here. Exhale straight on down. Pull the belly in. We have rooting. You can feel how your feet are rooting for you. So your legs are nice and strong. There's a root there. But let's stabilize the low back by rooting through the tailbone. So you feel, it kind of feels like you're lengthening that sacral area. You're trying to really feel nice and strong and supported, stabilizing the low back by rooting through your tailbone as well. Straight up and down, straight arms, real close to the body. Lift up. Let's get a little more distance between our feet. Both arms up. Bent knee is going to cross over. Lift up. Stay with the same leg. Bent knee, and we just cross our arms past that. Find a focal point because you're doing a one-legged balance here. We slipped right into that. And if you need the chair in some way, if doing this without the chair right by you is just not doable, just adjust yourself so that you can do it. You have the chair there. If you want the challenge, that's kind of the thing. We can say, well, I'm going to try to separate myself from the chair support. Let's meet with arms up, palms come together, lift up, look up, exhale, bow to your heart. Inhale, back up, and exhale, take a backstroke again. Let's move to the other leg. Arms are straight, and we bring a bent knee up. So again, you're going to position yourself with the chair according to your particular needs and desires about how this is much more stable for you. We always have a choice. We want to challenge ourselves perhaps, or we just need more stability today. We're just going to kind of go with that way. Find the rhythm of your movement, the rhythm with your breath. Last time. Palms come together, look up. Bow to your heart, exhaling in, inhale up, and all the way down. All right, let's come to the chair. Let's come to the use of the chair for support. I've just turned it that way. I've got a path here. Of course, I'm using a mat here to kind of create a path. We're just going to do some balance work that requires stepping. So you're stepping with your outside leg, the leg that's near the chair. We're going to call that our standing leg or inside leg. Outside leg is doing the stepping. So step and step. So you're just going to keep your gaze out and you're stepping with the outside leg. The other leg follows, yeah, but it's always led by that outside leg. And you could, the chair's right there. You could be doing this the whole time with one hand on the chair or not. You could say, I'm going to hold my arms in the goddess position so that I've got some upper body work going on too. Your choice. Step, step. You're focusing your gaze out, not on the floor. So it's a balance. Let's add something to it. Feet are together. Now take a step out and bend into it. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm stepping out with a little bend. That's what it's going like. Stepping away from that chair, a little bend of the knee. Keep your gaze out, not down at your feet. Hands at your waist, or one hand could be on the chair. Stepping out. Now I'm going to turn so you can see what I'm doing, but I want you to stay exactly where you are. Don't change anything. Here's what we're going to do next. We took that step out. Now I want you to turn your foot out. So you've got your foot turned out. And now try bending and straightening. You're right here. You didn't change anything. I just wanted you to see what was happening from a different angle. Bending into that front knee. Pull the belly in, get real strong with your core. This is where you need a root of the tailbone. So when you start to feel the stability of your low back because you've engaged all that, you're right where you want to be. Again, I'm moving, you don't need to. We're here. Let that straight leg, let that arm come right down. Straight leg, and we're going to match that arm up, right down. You got it? And the bent knee, that side of your body is lifting up. So you should be I'm going to do the way you're doing it. You should be like that. One hand is touching the thigh, the other hand is reaching for the sky. Stabilize your low back. Beautiful. Arms come down. Let's get a hold of the chair perhaps. Get your feet together. Step, step, step. Get your feet together. Shake, shake, shake. Shake it out. Then we're going to turn the other way. We want to be stepping with the other leg, the outside leg. We got a leg that's near the chair. So you step and you step. You're always leading with the outside leg. The other one follows. Yes, it does. But we're leading with that outside leg. You could have your hand at the chair. You could have your hands at your waist. You could find that goddess position with your arms. Remember to look out and away, not down at the floor. Step and step. Maybe you just kind of have a little mantra going on. Last step, both feet together. Let maybe the arms come alongside the body. Now we're going to take the step out, away from center. Take it out, and you're going to bend your knee as you bring yourself away from center. One hip is still near the chair, and you're stepping the other leg out and away from the chair. Now take that step and rotate your toes so the toes are pointing away from the chair. You've changed your foot position. The standing leg, the toes are facing forward just like they've always been, but this time on this side, the toes are pointing away from the chair, and this is where we bend and straighten. Bend the knee, straighten the leg. Bend the knee, straighten the leg. The step you took, how wide of a stance you have, that's up to you. That's an individual move. How big of a step? Take a look, just for kicks here. I want you to take a look at how your feet are aligned. They should be in alignment. You should feel the relationship between both the feet seem to have a connection. There's an alignment there. Bend the knee and hold it. Stabilize your low back. Do whatever you can to stabilize the low back. Pull the belly in, that helps. Drop that tailbone like a root. The arm that's near the chair, that's touching the thigh. The other one's reaching for the sky. Lift up, look up. Stabilize the low back. One leg is straight, one knee is bent. See if you can equalize the body weight to both legs. Deepen your breath. Exhale completely. And then start to bring yourself to neutral. So you maybe get a hold of the chair, you start stepping, 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 and you're back to a neutral position. Let's position our chair now so that the seat of the chair is facing us. The seat of the chair facing us. And let's get our hands onto that chair and start walking back. We're coming into downward facing dog, our chair yoga version of downward facing dog. The hands are on the chair squarely, lots of surface of the chair to work with. Make sure your feet are straight. My guideline for this pose is that you have the same distance between your hands as what you have between your feet. Try to straighten out the legs. This is the first time we've stretched like this, so you might have to start with bending and straightening, bending and straightening. Maybe you sort of walk the dog where one heel at a time pops up so the other leg could really straighten out. So kind of pop one heel up and then the other. Just some various ways to come into your down dog. It's a transitional time. Arms are lying right alongside your head by way of your ears. And notice that your strength of your legs is entirely holding your body up. Your hands are extended and they're resting on the chair. And that gives you some nice support to lengthen through your spine and through your side waist. But that's not what's holding you up. That chair is not holding you up. I just remind you of that every time. So you don't feel like you're pushing your chair away from you. That's not what we're doing. You're going to rely on the strength of those strong legs as you work to straighten out the knees. Good job. We were there for a while. Let's come walking toward the chair so that you now have landed in a position where your shoulders are right above your wrists. We're in a tabletop position. You're very close to the chair. Can you see the tabletop? Can you see the legs of the chair by way of your arms and your legs? Now let's do cat and cow from here. Bend the knees, lift your chest up. There's our cow pose, the extension of the spine. Straighten the legs now, just a little bit. Pull the belly in and let your chin tuck in towards your throat and round your back into a dome. See if you can find the cat and the cow right here near the chair. You'll just find the positioning of your legs. They kind of always have a bit of a bend in the knee, no matter which of the poses you're doing. Find your movement in the spine right near your chair. Inhale and exhale. Do it with a vinyasa. If you can find your vinyasa, all the better. Let's keep into a neutral position of our tabletop, and let's see if we can do a version of Warrior 3. So that is that we're going to shift our weight to our right leg and let our left leg extend back. And we're going to either just barely lift it off the floor, that could be our version of it, or that you extend it up so it is extended at hip height. Breathe in, breathe out. See if you can find neutrality about the way you're holding your neck and your head. One-legged balance. It's a version of Warrior 3. Both feet to the floor. Take a moment now. Maybe you just have to shimmy around a little bit. Loosen up so you can switch legs. Straight legs again. Shift your weight into your left leg and let the right leg go airborne. The toes of your right foot should be pointing down, not away from center, but pointing down toward like a center, an imaginary center line. That's it. Neck, head, and spine in alignment, balancing on one strong leg. Breathe in, breathe out. Both feet to the floor. Hold on to your chair now. Bend your knees like crazy. And let's move the feet. I've kind of been trying to really pay attention to this and include it in my classes whenever possible, that you're moving into lifting your heels up, pressing through the toes and the balls of the feet. Maybe you do it one at a time. Maybe you do both of them together. Hold on to your chair. And from right here, from this vantage point, you can really give some good stretches for your feet, your toes. One more downward facing dog. Bring palms to kind of into the center part of the seat of the chair as you start walking back. Same distance between your hands. That's what you have between your feet. Try to straighten your legs a little more so this time. Some of you might want to challenge yourself. Instead of palms down, you have only the finger pads on the chair seat. You've lifted the palms away from the chair. It's going to feel different. You'll feel it different in your arms and shoulders. Full breath in, full breath out, straightening the legs as best as you can. Remember, we want a full breath in, followed by a full breath out. Do that one more time. Really get that long exhale. Let's start walking toward the chair. Take your time. Bend the knees, round your back, tuck your chin towards your throat. We're going to come up one vertebrae at a time. Go slow. And once you are upright, your head is the last to come up. Take a deep breath here and stay put. Don't move your body. Just stay put as you take some deep breaths and let your body make its adjustment. Your body is transitioning from an inversion. So your blood pressure is adjusting, your breath is adjusting. Take your time here. Deeper breaths. Move when you're ready. When you start to feel normal again, it feels like, oh, that adjustment has been made. I can feel it. And then it's time to come into the chair because we're going to move into Shavasana. I always like to say, the last 10 minutes of class for Shavasana. So some of you are going to be grabbing a second chair at this point. So you'll go grab your second chair and then you could elevate your legs and really lean back into that chair to the backrest. Some of you have a different ritual, I'm sure. And if there's anything your body still needs, what if there's a stretch that you love to do and we didn't do it today? Then why want you to do that? Be sure you get the stretch that you want, the movement that your body craves. And don't forget, before you really settle in, don't forget to take note of that feeling of prana. Can't you feel it? It's just that feeling of aliveness. You feel strong, you feel healthy, you feel almost electrified. That's prana. You are fully aware of this experience of prana's flow through your body, through that beautiful, strong body of yours. It's great. This is also now a time we transition into the quieting. The quieting is just every bit as important for us in our experience of yoga as the movement and the strengthening. So I want you to feel very supported in the chair, leaning into the backrest, really allowing for the support. Oftentimes that's kind of our obstacle. Our transition requires us to could I really relax now? Do I get to relax? Yeah. And then you have to encourage yourself to take advantage of this as a full relaxation experience. Maybe here in yoga, you think I transition to that real easily. But I'm just saying, what about other times in life where, you're up against something, you feel yourself, your heart rate has started to, really pulsate and you feel like, you're concerned, you have angst in your body, you need to transition back to a slower, more mindful experience of your here and now. So, we use the tools that yoga has given us over and over again. And we can feel the peace that it doesn't change the circumstance, but it certainly changes the way we are responding to it. Soften your mouth, relax that part of your body where you often hold tension. Go there with your gentle and loving awareness to release and relax that. I want you to use a mantra. I really encourage that. When we come to the end of class, it's very, very tempting for us to start to check out, that our mind has already wandered. I want you to really discipline yourself to bring yourself into the very moment, to the very breath that you are in. And using a mantra is a technique that works beautifully and it's easy. As you breathe in, say the word in. As you breathe out, say the word out. Let it be the technique to help your mind stay focused. Just that simple. In and out. And I'm sure you can hear me saying in the back of your mind, all the way in and all the way out. Allowing the chair to completely support you. And start to observe the shift, the transition your body and your mind and your breath are making. You begin to feel that movement in home. You bring your mind home to your body. Bring your mind home to your body. And that intersection, when our mind is home to the body, that's when we can experience our soul in that stillness. Let's change our mantra. Inhale deep, exhale slow. Use two new words now. Inhale the word deep, Exhale slow and feel that in your body. Feel how your breath deepens and you're more and more home. You're home. Your mind has come home to the body by way of that breath. And therein lies your experience of your soul. And finally, for these last few minutes, we're going to change the word once again. Calm and ease. Inhale, calm. Exhale, ease. And really feel that in your body, the calm and the ease of these last few moments of stillness. Just rest. Calm and ease. The meditation reading from the book I've been following, Journey to the Heart by Melody Beattie. Yesterday's reading I thought was a good one. They're always good, but this one I thought, oh, we could use this reminder. It's entitled, Don't Be Afraid of Making Mistakes. Don't be so afraid of making a mistake. That energy can create more mistakes. It can stop us from enjoying what we're doing. It can block us from creating freely and making something beautiful. Sometimes it's necessary and important to make mistakes, to fumble around and do something poorly so we can learn to do it better next time. No matter what we're doing or what we're learning, we have to start somewhere. Look back at the past. We learned by trying, stumbling, falling, getting back up and trying again. But we wouldn't be where we're at if we hadn't begun where we were. Jump in, begin, and do the task as best as you can. Stop worrying about mistakes and let yourself do it as well as you can right now. If you do it wrong or poorly, you can do it over again. And when you do it in an attitude of love, you won't fail. You'll learn something new about yourself, life, and the task. Love yourself enough to try. Let yourself make mistakes. Tell yourself you don't have to do it perfectly. Let yourself have fun while you're learning. Start where you are and do what you can. Learning and getting better will happen from there. You may not always know the best way in the beginning, but if you keep trying, you'll quickly learn to tell when you're on track. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth. Ah. Another one like that, a cleansing breath. You start to move now. Do that cleansing breath as you start to move, kind of come forward on your chair. Ah. So now we're back to right alignment. You're going to bring your feet to the floor. If you haven't done that, be sure your feet are on the floor. You're no longer relying on the backrest for support. You're holding yourself upright in a place of right alignment. Good posture. Good. Let's sync up our breath one last time. Inhale with me. Palms come together, up and overhead. Look up if that feels good for your neck. Big breath. Exhale, bow to your heart. Inhale up. And as we exhale, let's share this loving energy with our community all the way around to everyone, all people, everywhere. Palms come together in the prayer position. This is where we bow to ourselves and we bow to one another. Namaste, my friends, and thank you for joining me.